Hi, how you doing? Whoever that is, thank you for coming through. I came through tonight because a lot of times when I come on here, all the time, a lot of things ain't good with me. But sorry about that. I didn't mean to cover up the screen. Trying to turn it up a little bit. Hey, Gamblers World. I'm trying to get back. I really be when I be in like my little. And Gam, I always tell you, I ain't on here. I ain't beefing with nobody on YouTube. I be going through real stuff in real life, and the stuff that I go through in real life is more than enough for me. So the one thing that I do, and I seen you earlier today because you was over there watching Peach, and she be giving some good encouragement with all the things that she be saying and everything. And one of the things that she been hitting on lately is, uh, I feel like she be talking to me sometimes too, cause she say, soon as you start going through something, then you leave what you doing here alone. No, come on and talk through the things you do. But sometimes I be feeling like my stuff be so heavy, and it always my stuff come with tears, and I ain't afraid to cry those tears because I've never been able to like cry them before, and that tears mean um not they real meaning, but I'm saying me growing up, tears meant you was weak. So, um, what I really don't be wanting to do is I don't want to come on here and pass the energy off of what I'm going through on to other people. If that makes sense to you, it's like I don't really want to come on here and make nobody feel sad or feel sorry for me or no nothing. It's just the mere fact that when I hit the button, you gonna get whatever it is that I'm going through on that day. So yeah, she do say a lot of things that make sense. And I seen you over there. When I seen you over there today, I was like, hey, Gamma. I'm a holler, hey, Gamma. And I'm like, she can't even hear me or whatever. So it's when I get in those situations, like I ain't gonna say nothing in nobody's chat. I always feel like if you ain't got nothing to like help uplift somebody or something like that, then just like I don't want to drain the energy. When I come over to your place, I like to laugh and kick it, and because y'all have great energy over there. So when I come over there, I was talking to my sister the other night because she was talking about games and stuff or whatever, but I don't dare like go to somebody else's thing and then try to drag their stuff down. But I've been going through a whole lot of stuff. But today, I was thinking about, even though the stuff that I'm going through right now, um, I still feel like my year was better than my year last year. For those of you all who don't know, because y'all don't know, last year the police was at my house, like starting during this time. And what made me think about today of how, even though stuff ain't been that good, it was better than last year was, because last year the police was at my house. I don't know. um Absolutely, that is a blessing. It was better than it was last year. The police was at my house so many times. I'm 48 years old. I was fighting last year. um Not one time, but twice, and both times I could have ended up locked up. um three of me and my children stopped dealing with each other. One of them, uh we we okay, but we still working towards it. um Last year I had to make a decision. Is you gonna give is are you gonna be forced to raise your grandson, or are you gonna give him the CPS? Those of you all who don't know, I done been through a whole bunch of situations. I raised 14 children, and a lot of those kids I was forced to take care of them, basically. And even though if there was a force to take care of them, I still took care of them willingly. when I say force, is like if somebody bring your kid and they supposed to be there to visit for 2 weeks, and then they just don't come back and get them. That's like forcing you. And so I was put into that situation again, and I was just like, at the time, I'm telling my whole family, it's like, nope, I'm not raising any more kids. I'm not raising any more kids. It's like now it's like I'm in like that selfish space where it's about me right now. I'm gonna take care of me. And when you say that, when you say that you're gonna take care of yourself and you're about to be selfish, um and you've been doing that all of your life. Don't nobody believe nothing you got to say. They don't believe none of that. Hey, Mark, how you doing? I be coming through your late nights because I be woke real late night, and sometimes I just sit in the chat. But y'all, like I said, I just told Gamma, I be going through my little funks and everything. I don't say nothing. Thank you, Gamma. Thank you very much. I don't say anything when I come through, especially when I'm feeling out. You know how when they say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But um yeah, I was looking at last year when I had to make that decision because my son's girlfriend and him was going through this whole thing. My son was in jail in jail this time last year, and I had to make a decision. Um I'll tell you in just 1 second, Mark. I had to make a decision because right from the beginning I saw that she was trying to push the baby off on me. But I also know what that does to kids when parents give their kids away. Like, the kids are longing for their parents, point blank, period. So I didn't want that to happen, and I wasn't about to allow that to happen. So um I did everything I could to put a pause on that. And even though that day came, and I took a picture of me getting ready to take my grandson to CPS, because I did call CPS on him. Um, and at the time, I felt so bad because I had done raised all these kids, and like, why not one more? This is your grandbaby. And I'm just like, no, I didn't have it in me. So I just like, no. So I took a picture of me taking him there, and he ended up back with his mom and everything. So it worked out. But I look back at that picture today and say, oh my gosh, you think the things you're going through right now is bad? No, the stuff you was going through back then was a lot heavier than what you're going through right now. So I say, let me come on and just say that yes, losing your sleep, not being able to go to sleep, and going through all of the different ups and downs and the battles, and then that what is somebody tell me what is Pandora's box. I ain't never looked it up, but this is what I kind of feel like Pandora's box is. Pandora's box is, to me, is like there's some stuff in your life that you have stored away and you just don't deal with it. You close that box and like you don't open it up no more. But sometimes that box, like you walk past it or something, and like that box be done jumped open by itself. You didn't open it up. It just opens itself. Kind of, like somebody winding a jack in the box. You don't necessarily open it, but you keep turning it, and they got this little time when it pop open. But what is Pandora's box? That's, to me, if I had to put my own definition to it, it's like something that you don't want it to be open. You kind of want it to stay there. Like, you grew past it, you left it, and obviously it's still coming up. So I didn't get past it. I just like stuffed it in a corner somewhere. But those things keep showing up in my life, and I can't ignore it when it do show up. I guess I have the hey Korean. Um this could give you inspiration to know that you'll get through what you're going through now. And that picture, Gamma, that's exactly what that picture did today. Was it put some things into perspective. Because y'all know this year one of my biggest things was being called a liar over and over again. And the point that I'm getting to is, um, to put it bluntly, I don't give a damn. Like, call me a liar if you want to. Man, I done been called a liar 550 times this year. And you don't know where you're gonna be at with it until like it happens again. But at this point, I don't give a damn. Like, call me a liar if you want to. I actually, um, I was the last thing I said about being a liar. I want somebody make me a T-shirt. With I'm going to my new name is liar, and I'm cool with it. Hey, Kanita. Okay, let me answer this right quick. Mark asked me, Tashanna, how did you grow your page? Only thing I did, only thing I did was I stayed true to who I am, and I talked about this. What happens to me? If you go back to my in the beginning when I came on here, my shorts and my early morning videos, if I was having trouble going to sleep the night before and something stayed on my mind and it was like I didn't really want to come on here and talk to nobody about it, those were the things that I needed to come on here and talk about. And so I started saying YouTube was going to be my diary. Only thing is when I open up like that, it's like then it's like I want to shut down. Um or I really don't want to talk about the people who are involved in what it is that I have to talk about. But anyways, those things started getting too heavy for me, so I started coming on here talking about it, and it was interrupting my sleep. So then what happened is I started coming to tell and talk about the things that was really happening to me in real life. Some of those things in the past, those things that was happening in the past, people were showing up from the past right in front of my face. It was just a whole bunch of things came at me. And so I then came on here and started talking about it. And one of the things I talked about that is very taboo for somebody, but I always say it's taboo to those people who have had a hey T Sherelle, how you doing? um I always say those who, and me and Gamma had this conversation before, it's hard for people that had amazing mothers, great mothers, to fathom someone coming in saying, um, and I don't even like to say bad things about their mom or their parents, point blank, period. I call them bad things if it's a lie. But if you're telling the truth about something that happened to you as a kid or whatever, it just is what it is. It's the truth. Um, and I can still tell you at the end of the day, I absolutely love my mama, but that was one of the things that I released and still was one of the things that I was going through. Because I made a video about my mom being with a married man. And because of the decisions that she made, it cost me a whole lot. And eventually I ended up, because I wanted to defend my mama, I started taking on battles that should not have been mine. Then on top of it, my mama passed away. And the kids that she had with that married man became my kids. And then him and his wife wanted to come and battle with me. And it was almost as if she couldn't get her revenge with my mama, so then she began to take those things out on me. And so I started making videos about it and telling about what I was going through, and one of those videos picked up traction. And I'm just telling you, I'm just telling about true stories that happen in my life. But it's just like sometimes I just feel like I'm not telling the stories to have sympathy anymore. It just is not working for me to write them in my journals. um I have so many journals that, like, I got a stack of them right here with me right now. But Mark, that's how I grew my page, just coming on here and talking about things and telling stories that happened to me in my past, and why I do things the way that I do. So that's what I did, just making shorts. Keep making shorts. After a while, you make one, you'll get one that go viral and it'll blow your page up. But I got one video that had over 1 million views on it, and that in itself helped to grow my page. I think that video got me like 10,000 subscribers, I think it was. And then other videos that, but they were very, very deep videos. So um I don't know, if you're willing to go on the inside of yourself and just talk about the real things, there are people that can connect with you. I On some of those videos, I have so many questions that people ask me on those videos that there is no way in the world it would take me. Some of those videos, I have 2 and 3 thousand, 4,000 questions and stuff on there. um and to be honest with you, I've never gone back and answered any. I answered some of them, but not a lot of them, because you do know, if you go back to those videos and then you start reading in the comments, it bring those things back up. And necessarily because I drop it on here and talk about it, because sometimes I would come on here and I won't say nothing to. I won't even pay attention to the chat or whatever. I just have something inside of me that I need to get out of me. And if I talk to anybody in the chat or whatever, it'll be like a distraction. So I don't get engaged with the chat or anything. Sometimes I'll turn the chat off so that I can't see it or whatever. But um, just because I come on here and drop it don't necessarily mean that I want to go back and, like, have people dig into it and ask a whole bunch of questions about it and everything. And even though I know, I don't mind that the people come on here and ask no questions. It just don't mean that they gonna get answered. Cause when people start to ask questions about it, it requires you to dig deeper. It requires you to dig deeper into the things that happen to you, and people just curious about it. Will I eventually go back and dig into them? Most likely. I don't have no problem. And I don't mind people asking questions about it. But people have to understand that if I say, "Oh, I don't want to answer that," or "I'm not going to answer that," it's just going to be what it's going to be, because I don't want to dig in it. So I really don't go back to those videos and, like, answer. But I got a lot of videos that got, like, tons and tons of questions that I just don't go back and mess with them. But yeah, Gamma, that the one with the 1 million views on it, um got me 10,000 subscribers. And it was just like, over I came on, and I went to a doctor's appointment one day, and I came on and I was just talking about something that was bothering me. And it was bothering me because the guy who my mom had, she had 3 kids with a married man. um but they were doing all kinds of stuff, like trying to put fraud charges and all of that kind of stuff on me. So it was just like, I was very irritated and I was very vengeful. I was ready, like, on go to expose, like, every single thing about the situation. And so I just went on and I started talking about it, because a lot of people say that the things your parents do don't cost you nothing. I know. No, I definitely know. Like, my mama being with a married man cost me my whole kid's life. I didn't have a childhood because of that. Because when she started having those kids became my responsibility, and so forth and so on. But um Yeah, one of those million, uh over a million views, it went viral, and so that got me 10,000 subscribers. But I always say keep on doing your shorts and stuff like that about anything, and something will get picked up, and then you'll go from there. And then it just at one point it was just like stuff was getting so intense for me, me the crying and everything, and it's just things I have to deal with. I got a whole bunch of issues issues in my life, and I'm pretty sure everybody do. But um yours is yours and mine is mine. But just like sometimes I just don't want to that ain't what I want to be about every day. For me, if I could go in my garden and just be peaceful every single day, and at one point I was going out in my garden and everything was being peaceful, then I got into a fight with my son's girlfriend twice. In order to keep the peace around here, I stopped going in my garden for that. Then another situation came up. Me and my husband got into it. I left the garden behind, so then the garden started being unpeaceful. It was just it just be so many things, and then I just be trying not to bring that energy so much to people. Um, you know. So, um, has it been healing sharing your truth? It T Sherelle, I will say in this way. Um, it has been healing, like to share with it and share some of the things and talk to some of the people, because it to share with it on a different level, because I would try and get my healing by talking like to family members and stuff like that, but it would only be like two or three of them that I would try and share it with. And then I went from first started with my journal, then it started with like talking to family members, and then one of the issues why it wasn't working with my family members, because the things I began to share with my family members, I started to find out that those things that I was sharing with my family members, it was happening to my family members too. When you felt like you were alone in situations, and then you find out that you were not alone by yourself. So yes, definitely some of those situations was healing to share with it. And then you don't necessarily want people to be on that limb with you, but sometimes when you feel like you're on a limb by yourself, and then there's somebody else saying that they went through some of those same things, it's almost like you don't have to feel so bad alone by yourself, because there is somebody else. And I think it don't really be that you want somebody to go through it with you or whatever. It's just that you want somebody to understand where you been at. Am I what I'm saying, is it making sense? And then at a certain point you have to let go that anybody understand. You can't care whether somebody understands. Your story is just your story. Nobody else has to have your experience or whatever. You just have to be able to say it. And all the time, it's not that comfortable for me, but it's just different levels of peace I get according to how I do it. If I write it in a book, if I write it in my journal, it ain't as satisfying as it used to be anymore. So it's just like I need to, sometimes you need to scream. They say you need to yell, you need to scream and yell. So it's like if I come on here and talk to the people on YouTube, it almost feel like I'm screaming it across the world. That is there. Done. And y'all, if y'all hear a little bit of whining today, I got my grandbaby with me, that I was telling y'all that I was about to take him, well, that I did take to the CPS worker, but he is now living with my son full time. So he is a single parent, and right now he is out of town working. So then I'm on grandma duties. So he just woke up all of a sudden out of his sleep and wanna be over here whining where he only been asleep for like an hour and a half. So I thought I had done this escape for the night. But anyways, um yeah, and Mark, you make those comments, videos, and at least shorts, kind of like how people do on TikTok. You know what, Mark? But if I go and make those comments into videos, that's a good idea. It is. But then too, it's kind of scary because I said it's like that's I ain't see what nobody explained to me what Pandora's box. I explained to y'all what Pandora's box kind of feels like to me. And it's like going into those comments and you reading those questions because you have to go back and see some of the videos that I put up, like what happened at my mom's funeral. Somebody who touched me um was one of my mama's friends. My mama made a couple of albums or whatever, and one of the guys that was in their group. You want some drink? You want your cup? Hold on just 1 second, y'all. Yeah, but one of the guys in the group, he showed up to her funeral and gave me a hug. I told about that story on there, and if you're sensitive to those types of things, then you may not want to go and watch it because it was very traumatizing to me. And it was very traumatizing to me for him to show up there at that time. And so like those videos like that, it's now in the video that went viral, there's a whole bunch of questions, and I think it probably got like 5,000 comments up under that one right there. But I'll probably be up under there all day long. I had a couple of people that's going off on me because a lot of people don't want to hear nothing about don't want to hear you saying nothing. I had this one lady that was in my comments, and it was so funny that her name was the same name as the wife of the husband. And she just kept on coming up under each one of my videos, commenting and telling people, get away from this girl because she just only coming on here to slander her mom and all of this here kind of stuff. And it was nothing like that. But I always say that people that usually had a good relationship with their parents and everything, they get offended by those things because anytime you hear somebody talking about mama, you think about the mom that you had in your life. And if your mom was good to you and stuff like that, then I could see how you could get offended. And I won't say that all that in me and my mom's relationship was bad. But it was pretty bad. And I went through some pretty traumatic things that right now that like I can talk about them, and it's very hurtful to think about those things, especially when you as a kid you trying to tell your mom something, and it just feels like a lot of those times um there was nothing that I could ever do right. um if I try to tell her something I didn't do, um it's just like now. It's like if I try and say something to somebody that I don't do, or I tell them the truth about how I feel about something, and it's just like I'm still not heard. It's like you gonna take and believe whatever it is that you want to believe, which means there is even no point in even coming and asking me any of those questions because you still gonna believe what you want to believe. So now it's just like yeah, but those things are still hurtful. I don't even know if I've completed that sentence. Just answer the ones that you're comfortable about. I can do that. And I guess what I can do is I can go into it and I can read into the comments or whatever as long as I'm comfortable with it, and then answer the questions from there. But as soon as I start feeling something, maybe it's time for me to back out and then not answer none of those questions. But then that is a good idea, though. I do need to go over there. If a question triggers you, sis, you can always say no to discussing it. You're right, Kanita. That's the same thing that I was saying. Hey, Silky Black, how you doing? Um, that could be healing for you too, possibly. Yeah. So it's just when you see when I see those videos, and the one that comes to mind that is one of the scariest ones for me is exposing the ugly truth. Is the name of that video. Um, when I go to that one, it's scary like to read the questions because there's like, if you've been essayed or whatever, then you don't go into on here. You don't go into the details of what happened. You give like the gist and the setting and stuff like that of the situation. But then one of the things that made me hurry up and run from, because I tried to go back to those videos like probably about 2 months ago and looking at, and then there's somebody that was there asking for questions, asking for more details, and they was like, if you don't mind, can you tell me what exactly happened on that night? And I was like, let me get out of these out of this the comments and get away from this video right now, because a part of me, it feels like you put the story out here, so why not answer the people's question? But to that, I can also answer to myself. It doesn't mean that I'm going to answer it, because I have to make my own decision in my mind. Do I really want to go into all of that? Because at the end of the day, when you got a 6-year-old child with somebody who is 19 years old and they got you in a place, I don't give a damn what they was doing to you. They ain't got no business touching you. Point blank, period. So, hey, growing with Hudson. um, so I feel like in those types of situations, people don't really need to know um the actual details. And the other day, I actually started to come on and talk about it a little bit, and I actually did talk about it just a little bit. Um, and I started making a video about it, and I paused it because I just could on here anyways. Okay, so I'll say, like, if we was having like a Zoom or something like that, I could talk in the Zoom and say whatever it is that I want to say, but this is not a platform either. And I hate sitting here and I'm trying to tell you about something that happened to me. It's not the same conversation like if you were sitting here in this room with me or something, that I could talk to you the same way. Because I can promise you, if I was talking to you face to face, I don't have to sit and study over the word that I'm going to use to explain to you what happened to me. I'm going to open my mouth and I'm just going to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And sometimes the way that I talk in those situations, sometimes people be like, hey, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Because I am free with talking about it, but it's just on here, you got to think about what it is that you're going to say. Now, see, those questions that those people have about that video, if we was face to face, I would answer the question. You may not want to sit through it, because even though all of those everything that's coming up, because it's almost like you put yourself back in the situation that's happening when you talking about these situations, and my emotions come up to the top, and so you may get uncomfortable because I'm feeling everything that I'm telling you about. um and if I feel like crying because I didn't cry in that moment, I mean, it's gonna be an emotional roller coaster. So but on here, it's like you having to stop and pause and think about what you gonna say when you gonna say it and all of that stuff. And I'm like, get me on like a Zoom or something like that. And honey, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that she would say all of that. So it's just some things I avoid talking about on here because you can't really tell the story the way that you want to tell your story. So if that makes sense. But today I was just thinking about and no, none of my situations have not changed. I'm still living where I'm living at. Me and my husband is not back together. I'm not back inside of the house with my family or no nothing. And I'm not very sad about it or whatever. There are times that I feel like I get I have lonely moments. But two, I thought about that today is that I feel I feel lonely, but let me see how I can explain this. Have you been in a house with a whole bunch of people, right? But you've been mistreated by a lot of those people that been in the house, right? And it still didn't matter to you that they mistreated you. They was people that was there. So it's like, why would you wanna why would you wanna be in a room full of people that mistreat you? So it's kind of like I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. It's just like when you that's what you used to. You really don't set a standard for the people that be around you. And what's happening to me now is that like there's a standard um that's being set in my life. And it's like for me, the changes that's happening is uncomfortable, but I'm loving the changes that's happening. If that makes sense. I don't know who that's gonna make sense to in here. I'm loving the changes that's happening. It is very uncomfortable, especially when you because I'm a person that comes from I'm always trying to hey God Speedy. I'm always trying to make everybody else comfortable and I kind of leave me behind. And right now it's just there's moments when like I want to budge, but then there's something in me right now. This time is like, no, girl, you ain't got, you can't budge. You have to stay right here where you are. And it's like times like the other day is like I was feeling like, you just had to just turn that over, didn't you? There's times when I feel like, God, why do I have to be alone in this situation or whatever? Um, and then there's a time when what's the problem? What's the problem? Well, at least I can say right now, we ain't lonely. We ain't lonely. This one here, he be like he about to faint in 5 seconds, and then all of a sudden he got a big old smile on his face. But yes, this is the one that I looked at in the car seat, and I was I had him in the truck to go and I came on here and I talked to everybody about that. That was one of those times I really didn't care about looking in the chat because I knew people wouldn't understand where I was coming from and what I was going through at the same time. Because I don't know if there's a lot of people who've been forced to take care of so many kids as I have in my life. I gave birth to 8 children myself. Actually, I gave birth to 9 children. One of them passed away. Um, and all the rest of them were children that um, some of them walked away, one passed away, and then one pushed one in my arm and said, "Get this effing baby." So, in all kinds of ways, I knew people wouldn't understand what was happening with me at that time, and I was just like, absolutely not. Um, I'm not taking another baby. So, and then he came right back to me. He came right back and said, "Yes, I am." But now he is he's just here with me until Friday. So we on grandma duties, and he usually be with me throughout the day. Y'all probably done seen him on so many other videos and stuff before. He should be asleep right now. He think he gonna be a night owl, but we gonna he going to bed. But he done woke up. He done been to sleep. You ain't even been to sleep for an hour. You went to bed. You went to bed at 9:30, and you back up already. Hmm. Anywho, thank y'all. Um, but again, I just wanted to come and say that um there earlier what we were talking about was I've been watching a lot of the things that Peach McIntyre been going through, and it's a lot of people that don't like the way she moved, but I love her. I love her bounce back, and that's one of the things why I watch her, because no matter what she going through, she never sabotages herself by running away from what it is that she wants to do. I like to come on here and go live and talk to people, but when I'm going through something, that's the first thing I do is I'll jump up off of here and I'll be gone for I'll be gone for y'all already know. Shauna will disappear from off of here and I'll be gone for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Sometimes a couple of times I don't disappear for some months or whatever, and then don't show back up. And it's not because I don't want to come on here and talk. It's just like I'm so used to going through stuff in a corner over by myself and not because I almost feel like don't nobody care nothing about that. So girl, just go ahead and be in your little corner and nobody, and then everybody be like, wait a minute, girl, where have you been? Why haven't you been on here? So I'm trying to, when I watch her and stuff and pay attention to it, I'm just like, I need to stop doing that. So with this time, um when this situation happened, well, y'all can see I got on the train and I left home again, but this time it was, and every time like I leave, it's shorter and shorter. The time before that I left for a month. It gets shorter and shorter with every time that I leave home and then come back or whatever. But this time it was a short period of time. And the most of the time when I do get up and I leave or whatever, it's because I don't want to forgive when I don't feel like forgiving at the moment. It's like I feel like you need to sit in your shit that you gave to me. And I just feel like I'm such a forgiving person at times, is that I can't stay in the spot that I'm in because I got this person pulling and tugging at me because they don't want me to be mad at them, but they ain't willing to switch anything up for me. And so for me, I'm getting tired of that cycle. So it's like now it's like it don't matter where I am. I can't do it. I have this is grandbaby number 6. Um and right now from what my one daughter told me at the beginning of the year, because that's also one of the things that I went through. If y'all go and look back in my videos, it's been a situation where I went through with my daughter. And she told me that her kids is no longer my grandchildren. And I done heard that so many times. I'm just like, child, I done raised 14 children. Take your kids and go ahead and fly away. All they need to know is, and I don't, if I don't never say it again, the way that I treat my grandkids and the things that I do with them when they come here, they know absolutely how they grandma feel about them. But if that's how your mama want to move, honey, I ain't begging nobody, absolutely nobody, to take care of no kids. And when I say I took care of 14 children, I took care of 14 children. Took care. Took care. So it ain't nobody that I'm running behind begging them, especially when I'm the kind of grandma that I can come and pick your kids up and you don't have to worry about them for the whole entire summer, because I will keep them and probably past the summer. They probably missed the first week of school, and you ain't got to worry about bringing them no food. You ain't got to do nothing for them. I ain't calling you telling you X, Y, and Z, or you need to get on one of your kids or nothing. I ain't bothering you. You on vacation. I'm chilling with my grandkids. They out here running free on these 2 acres that we got here. See, I know what I put out, so I'm not fighting with nobody to be grandma. I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. So, there is a saying that I have, and once I put that saying on you, um, I mean what I say. And sometimes I don't even want to say it, but when I say it, there's like a piece that I get behind it, and it is, and I've said it before, I think for about two or either three people. If I don't never see your ass another day in life, I'm gonna live in peace. And I mean what I say. Once I throw that down on you, it's a wrap. And so I've been put in situations of where, even though she said that or whatever, and I guess she usually, I'm the one that always like try and go and make things right with them, pulling people's teeth to try and have the conversation and all of this, because I'm a conversationalist. I love to talk. Um, but this time when I showed up in town, I didn't come there. And it was a family member's funeral. I didn't go to make nice with anybody. I came there to do what I came to do and move around, and I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't even speak to them. And because I know the games that they play. And there's a lot of people in my life, I'm telling you, that threats and stuff that was made, even with the kids that I raised, that those parents ain't come and they ain't see their kids for 10 and 11 years at a time or whatever, but then got the nerve to think they can tell me how and what to do with those kids. You ain't telling me nothing. So I done went through that where kids try to. I even had one of my aunties that I raised her kids. She was giving another auntie stop. She was giving another auntie um information, telling that auntie that if I collect food stamps for her kids, that she was gonna take her kids from me. What you gonna take them for? Hell, you ain't did nothing for them all their life. Even when they was living with her, they was living with me. But she was making threats and stuff like that, and because she was making threats like that, and I wanted to keep the kids because the kids were going places that I was being touched, and I didn't want them to be in those places. So it was just like, no, I didn't want them to be put into those dangers and whatever. So I wanted the kids, and she knew what she was doing, was she was manipulating me to not do things that she wanted to, that would in turn put her on child support or whatever, if you understand what I'm saying. So she would say things to me that she knew would get me to, oh, she ain't gonna do that because she already know if I say this right here, she ain't want to lose those kids. So, and I wasn't the kind of one that I'm keeping the kids because I'm getting some kind of monetary gain. There was no monetary gain for me. I ain't get no welfare or no nothing like that. Did I get food stamps and Medicaid? Absolutely I did. But some of those kids I wouldn't have even been getting food stamps or anything for because my aunt was making threats like that. So what did I do? Let me not do that because I don't want her to get it. And then when it came around, it was like, oh, I'm sick of her threatening me after this done went on for 10 years or whatever. And it's crazy to even think about it now because those kinds of things is what make me go back and it just like piss me off to even think about that. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like you go back and think about that stuff. It's like they making those kinds of threats, and how you making those kind of threats, and you ain't sending nan dime or no dollar, and then the daddy of the kids, he's standing in the courthouse and gonna tell me in the courthouse that I would never spend a dime of his money, and he actually told the truth. I would never spend a dime of his money. I never got any child support from either one of them, but I bet you one thing though. I bet you one thing, you probably don't get to spend none of your own money either. You probably going through all kinds of hell because you thought you was doing something by keeping from me whatever it was that you had. And I asked and one of my kids, I bet you they ain't never went without nothing that they needed. Nothing. So, they thought they was doing their big one to me or whatever. And, you know, do what you do. But I done been through all of that manipulation stuff and everything, and it's just like same thing with him during the times that those things was happening. It was just like the manipulation tactics was coming on. Oh, you don't love my baby because you don't know. And over in black culture, when when a woman has a baby, I don't know if any of y'all, when you have your baby, then like you don't be around other people and stuff for like 6 months or whatever. Everybody does not believe that in their culture, but that's the way we live our life over here. Ain't nobody holding my babies when they under 6 weeks old. They ain't going to nobody's house. Ain't nobody babysitting. I ain't finna be around no whole bunch of people. I'm not out running the streets and everything. In the black community, you know, and I don't know if I just, as I heard earlier, I can't talk about other communities because I ain't never lived in those communities before. But when he was first born, they lived in the second house that's on my property, and she thought I didn't love him because when they first came around, it's like I didn't go over to their house like that. And it's because, and especially that big C word was around and everything then. So it's like you wanted to keep the least amount of germs and everything around. But I can feel like after a while it was like trying to explain it, and then she would say stuff like, why do we have to talk about color? And I was like, hold up, wait a minute, girl. This is not about color. I said culture. Like, we live this way. You may live this way, but this is how we do. It's like we don't, and there's all of us are not coming over here to pile up around this baby. Um, because you want us to. It went from that to starting to understand, oh, you just want us to have the baby all of the time. You really don't want to. And then after a while, you start to see those things come out. So the truth was starting to be revealed to me very quickly. So it's just like the manipulation games and all of that stuff. Mm-mm. So it's like all of this stuff that I'm talking about. There's all videos on here. I'm not good at making the thumbnails and doing all of that stuff to tell you. Huh? What about the tea? Want some what? What? What is that? What is it?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm? This? No. What? Lay down. Go back to sleep. Come on. Lay right here. Just relax your mind. But anyways, I started to recognize the manipulation and everything of it all, and so I was just like, no. And so, she didn't believe me, and I know at one point while my son was in jail, because of he done saw the way that I live my life or whatever, and the things that how I was accepting of other people kids and everything like that, being at my house and all kinds of stuff. My house was the house where everybody's kids wanted to come and hang out at my house. um at a certain point he thought, oh, mama ain't for real, just go ahead and give her the baby, and then she gonna, honey child, when they got, what, you better open your mouth and talk. What? You whining ain't gonna tell me nothing. You know how to talk. What do you want? What? Hmm? Oh, okay then. You don't want nothing then. Um, but when the manipulation started to come, um, it was like she tried the same thing with me. It's like while he was in jail, it's like, hey, can y'all watch the baby for 2 days or whatever? And it's like, sure, I'll watch the baby, but I don't want no contact with her, because at this point me and this girl done went head to head twice. And I told y'all the police was here a couple of times behind it. But we don't went to head twice, and I don't want no contact with her. So it's like, let my husband them deal with her or whatever, and get the baby. So then I was like, on the second day, she didn't show up. Um, she didn't show up for um to pick him up like she said she did, like she said she was. And so now I'm having to be faced with this situation of like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? And I'm just like, I'm gonna call CPS. And then I seen like she was playing this game. Oh, I'm stuck here at this bus station, and this and this, and then start to find out the picture of the bus station that she was seeing, and it was a picture she went and got off of Google or whatever, and put it on and sent it and everything. I was like, oh no, we not playing the game. So I called DCF, and I told them, I say, hey, I'm not willing to take care. I said whatever I said, because I don't want to be encouraging nobody to give away no kids. But if you in a certain position and it's not what you want to do, then don't put yourself in a position to do something that you don't really want to do, especially when it comes to kids. Do I want them to be in DCF custody? Nope. But ain't nobody finna be playing with me like that. So, and I have to tell y'all a little bit about the story, because when um I actually made the decision to go ahead and to send him to take him to DCF. They asked me would I meet them somewhere, and I was like, yeah, I'll meet you somewhere, and hand them over. Um, and then I go and meet up with DCF, and when I get there, guess who's in the car with the lady from DCF? His mama. So there absolutely was a game being played. So um but at the end of the day, what I did do was, with every decision that I was making, all of them had God included in them. So I prayed about everything that I did, and some of those decisions were very uncomfortable. Just like I tell you right now, some of the decisions that I have to make are very uncomfortable, but I make them, and then I find out later it was the right decision for me. And so those decisions was the right decisions for me. Sometimes you're gonna have to make uncomfortable decisions, um, And as long as you know you're praying about them and asking God to take the wheel and lead you where you need to go, um, sometimes it's a lot of times it's not gonna be comfortable. I always say this right here. When you comfortable, you don't move, you don't do anything. Just think about when you laying in the bed and you get in that comfortable spot that you laying in. Ooh, and then sometimes then your bladder get full while you laying in that comfortable spot. And it's like, oh my God, I do not want to even get up. I just want to stay in this spot right here because I ain't gonna be able to find this comfortable spot no more. But then after a while, that bladder gets so uncomfortable that you will get up and move. Sometimes we don't get up and move until we get uncomfortable. So I'm gonna end by saying I'm uncomfortable at this time in my life, but it's causing me to move and shift around and do some things different. And because of that, I know that it's working out for my good. I'm okay with being uncomfortable. Because if I was comfortable, then I'd still be chilling in the same spot that I was in. So, um, and so I don't know what this is going to mean for me. Is this going to put me back on my streak when I'm going to come on here and go live and talk to y'all every day about whatever is going on in my life? Maybe it is, or maybe it isn't. But y'all will see me. Y'all will see me around. Y'all will see me around, and then if I can come on here, like I love what I'm feeling right now. So then that means that you know, from time to time, and because I'm on here smiling, this has been the first time that I've been able to come back on here smiling, and I'm still going through what I'm going through in the background. Um, hopefully, it'll mean that I feel okay with coming through and talking and getting back involved in what what's going on in the YouTube streets. Having fun, of course. I don't need no extra drama, nobody's extra stuff, and none of that right there. But I enjoy joining in the conversations. I enjoy going over and talking on other people's panels and stuff like that, especially when they have good conversations going on. I'm a talker. So I don't mind hitting somebody's panel and having conversations and stuff. And like I said, when I do hit panels and stuff like that, I don't mind people asking none of those questions. I definitely know how to respectfully say, nah, I don't want to answer that, or I don't want to talk about that. Oh, bless you. Um, but yeah, I look anyway. Don't mock me. um, but hopefully, this means that I'm going to get back onto my streak of, coming back on and saying, just looking at what last year was and where I am right now. I can say that this year has been better. It has been better than what last year put out. So with that's a good thing. That's a great thing. At least the way that I weigh it out. It ain't had the police ain't had to be involved and none of that good old stuff. And uh, a while back that was one of my sayings. I'm willing to go to jail or hell about mine. And God knows I don't want to do neither one of them. I hate that saying now. I don't want to go to jail, nor do I want to go to hell. I don't want neither one of them. No, no, ma'am, no, sir. I don't want neither one of them. So, I have to change, my thought process. But when you coming from where I'm coming from, I've already been in so much hell, so it don't matter to add a little bit more to it. I'm willing to throw the gasoline on it. at a certain point, I was ready to throw the gasoline on it, and I'm gonna burn all us up, But my mindset, um, my thought process has changed differently because I don't want to be sitting in nobody's jail cell. And God knows I done been through and done enough stuff that I definitely could have been. But God didn't see fit for that in my life, and I'm very thankful that He didn't see fit for me in that life. Anytime you come from the places, and this is just the way I feel. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody feel this way. When you've dealt with SA, um situations that happen to you when you kid, there just comes this point in your life where you make this pact with yourself that says, I will no longer accept this right here, and I will do what I have to do, but this won't never happen to me again. And so, hey, Miss Parker. um and that's definitely one of the things that I did. And when you make that kind of pact with yourself, trust and believe. If you had enough stuff happen to you, you willing to do just what you say you willing to do. And I can be honest and say I was one of those people. I'm ready to set it off and do whatever it is that need to be done. And I'm proud to say at this time in my life that I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke with nobody. I literally, I want to live in peace. I done fought enough. I done fought enough. I done been through enough hell in my life. I done been through enough stuff. Um, to not want any more. To not want any more. And so, um, and but you also know too that you can be saying, I can say that in the calm of the moment, but anytime a situation gets heated or whatever, it's easy for it to, because you always got the devil and the angel sitting over here. But right now in my life, the angel is definitely talking louder than the devil do. Definitely talks louder and try and keep me on the right path of doing the right things and staying a lot calmer than I was. And listen, and I can tell you that it's an up and down battle because literally just I can say about 2 months ago, not even 2 months ago, I don't even say, I can probably say about a month and a half ago, I had a dream that I was sitting across the table from somebody who I well, not currently having issues with. I had an issue with them, but I ain't thinking about them. Don't even cross my mind anymore. I'm at peace with the situation. But I literally had a dream that I was sitting across the table from this person, and I shoved the table into their chest and got up and slapped the shit out of them across the table. And I say it in that way because that's the energy that I felt. And that's another thing. I don't want to explain to nobody why I say stuff the way I say it. If I say it and you get offended by the cuss words that I say, then that's gonna have to be your business, not mine. Cause I have to be able to say it whatever way that I want to, and whenever God convicts me of doing what it is that I do, then He convicts me of doing what I do. And I also want to say that a lot of you all knew that I did a little smoking or whatever, not really heavy. I'm proud to say that for the past 3 almost 4 months I am clean and clear, and I have not done that in almost 3 and a half months. So that's another thing that I'm proud of for myself. So um, I'm walking around with clear as day, and whatever comes my way, I'm dealing with it in my natural form. Um, and that's all by not trying to change it for what nobody else think about it or whatever. um God, when it's time for me to be done with it, take the taste out of my mouth. And so um booyah. And there it went. Just like that. I hope you come back. I always enjoy your commentary. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Well, thank you, Marcel Smith. Thank you very much. I hope I'm gonna come back, but you know, it's just like a thing. It's like too, I always make it be like, I like sometimes I feel like when I come on, I don't have much to talk about in that day or whatever. Um, and sometimes it's just some people say they used to be coming on here just to hear me out in the garden, listening to the water sprinklers. But I'm going to try to get back in the mode of coming back on. It's just I hate the parts where stuff happened to me and I don't necessarily want to share it with anybody or whatever. Um, is what keep me from coming on here, because I know if I hit the live button, I'm definitely gonna talk about it. I'm definitely gonna say whatever it is that I need to say. But you know, sometimes you just want to keep some things until it's necessary that you come on and you have to say whatever it is that you're gonna say. I'm not into really hurting anybody's feelings or whatever, but sometimes it feel like I've been guarding everybody else's feelings for so long that my feelings don't matter to anybody. So it's just like I all with living that way, I always end up getting the shitty end of the stick. And so I'm tired of that. So um so I'm walking a tightrope right now, trying to learn how to do this thing in a different way. Care about other people, but I also don't throw myself on the back burner while one of the things, and it's one of the things too that Peach McIntyre talked about, is like you having plans for yourself. Don't destroy your plans to make somebody else's dreams come true. With me, it's like even me thinking today, that my son's going to work or whatever, and I was thinking to myself, did you have any plans for yourself for this week? Um, and I didn't make any plans. My plans consist of I'm going out in my garden and I'm going to check on everything, and which is right now. I actually went out there today and I actually like what I was seeing going on today. But then in this time was the first time that when my son asked me about it, I actually considered myself. And I thought about, did you make some plans? Because just as sure as Peach said it, yeah, I think she said it yesterday. Um, and I mean, people, you don't have to like her, but God knows you have to admit there are some things that she say, and she said with all honesty. Um, and those of you all who just can't see it, some of them just slow. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see nothing good. You don't want to say nothing good. And I ain't saying that you got to agree with everything, because I don't agree with everything that she got going on. But I definitely know some of the things that she talk about and she be about over there have definitely like made a reminder. Even the way that she dealing with the situation with her husband right now, it's like there are so many things that she can say and do, but you done tried all of those things, all those kinds of ways and everything. Just like for me, I feel like I done said everything that I need to say to mine's on. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to say. I've said everything. So right now it's just like I'm in a quiet, okay place. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything else to say. Um but some of the things that I've been feeling, I feel like it has been like a when I hear her talk about those things, it's almost like it's confirmation for me to go on and hear her handle things the way that she handling them. Um and I'm older than her. I'm older than her, but there ain't a person that I ain't willing to have in front of me. I don't care if they 10 years old and I'm 48 years old. Um, if they 2 years old, I can learn from a 2 year old. This has got to be what they say out of the mouth of babes. Um, but you can learn a lot from everybody. It don't mean you have to agree with everything. But in this season right here, it's like there's some things that been going on with her or whatever, and it's like confirmation for me to keep on getting up and keep moving. So hopefully somebody else is being encouraged by that. I hear she get a whole lot of smoke over there, and people be saying things, and the way she just laugh about them, and the way she just be like, she be cussing the people out without, I don't want to, some people that I will come on, and cuss them out. But then is it even worth giving them like the energy? Sometimes I just like her energy. It's like she'll be cussing them out and they sound like she going hardcore, and then she'll bust out laughing and do like that little that little laughing thing or whatever. It's like I love it when she do that. It's like, child, I'm just talking and saying some words or whatever. And then it's also too, it's funny to see, she going off on wood, but then he in the chat telling stop all that cussing or whatever. She was like, oh, okay then, okay. So it's still, even with me right now, it's like with me and my husband going through some of the things, like some of the he say some things, and yeah, I can hear what he say, but then there's other things that I can pretend like I don't hear any of it or whatever. But you know, it is what it is. We all going through something. It's just some of us sharing it out loud, and then there's others who ain't sharing it out loud, but then they want to shoot you down for being the one to come on and like help and encourage other people with the situations that they're going through. So you all, I done came on here and I done gave y'all an hour of smiles talking through my little situations and everything going on over here. And I done had a co-host over here that I didn't expect to have. I thought I was gonna be able to come on and talk to y'all for at least an hour. And and he like, right, I came to help you out. um but we'll see what tomorrow holds. um where we are tomorrow. But it was a pleasure coming back on here tonight. Letting this be the first time. I think I haven't I think it's, ooh, how long has it been since I went live? I don't even remember. Oh, I did go live. I think one day last week I went live. Um but I came on to go live because I was going through something on that day. That was the last live that I came on and did. But prior to that live, I hadn't been on here probably mm, probably like a month, I think. Don't quote me on that because all the days start running in together or whatever. But whenever it's time for me to be back on here, then I'll be back on here, and hopefully it is tomorrow if I decide that I got something I want to come on here and talk to y'all about. And sometimes I try not to be selfish like that because maybe it's somebody who got a question or something to ask of me, and then I would love to answer questions. I always say over here, this is a friendly chat over here. You can ask questions. You can ask anything you want to ask as long as you're respectful with asking it. But the minute you come over here with the disrespect or any of that stuff right there, you know that song Fly Me to the Moon? It won't be me. It'll be you flying to the moon. You gonna be out of here. Cause we don't do the disrespect thing. I like people to kind of be free over here, and ask whatever questions that it is that you want to talk. Cause how else we supposed to have a conversation if we ain't willing to hear people out, And you just snatching on me. I'm not your daddy. No, yeah, I'm not your daddy. You being rough with me. Gee whiz. Okay, y'all, but it was great talking to you all, and I appreciate y'all for coming through, asking the question. And Gamma, I appreciate you for becoming one of my members. Even though I don't never do anything for members only, but I gotta figure out something to do. And members only. Maybe me and Gamma need to go over and have a conversation over in members only, and what kind of conversation we'll have over there. But I gotta start, you know, getting somewhere. I'm gonna put all of that stuff on the altar so I can figure all of that stuff out, because I don't know, but you all, I hope y'all have an amazing night. And I know there are some people that be up with me because y'all know I hit the live button like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I haven't really been. There is some nights that I have been up and everything, but instead of hitting the live like I was previously, I do get up at those times, and I'm having straight conversations with God until I fall back to sleep or whatever. So that's what I've been doing with those times, but and it's not as it was before or whatever, but you know, it's definitely better, a lot calmer than it was before. But those of you all that be up with me those times of nights, I pray that you all are getting back into the groove of that right there. And if you haven't been able to get back into the groove, talk to the Lord and help you through those situations of or whatever. Cause all the time you ain't up because you just can't get to sleep. He got you up those times of night because he want to talk to you. So go ahead and have a conversation with the good Lord. He good for you and good to you. So you know, but that's what I've been doing, and I love there's a lot of people that been giving me scriptures. Oh my God, I'm very thankful for those scriptures. And y'all that throw those scriptures out, I've been writing them down and I'll be going to read them immediately when they be given to me. And every one of them been hitting right on the point. My sister didn't even know the other day. And she sent me what it was. First Peter 5:10. She was right on point. And she didn't even know her, but I forgot to text her back, and I was like, child, I had forgot to text you back because so many people been sending me scriptures and stuff like that. And I was like, when you sent that scripture, I just got right on off of this phone and went on to read exactly what First Peter 5:10 said. And so and when I went back to my phone, it had done some hours had done went by, and I realized that you left the conversation open. You didn't even get back to her. So I had to tell her, yeah, I got excited because you sent me a scripture, and I absolutely went and read it. So I appreciate y'all for that. Stop pulling my necklace like that, child. Um I really appreciate you all for letting the good Lord use you in that way and sending me the scriptures. So but again, you all, y'all have an amazing night, and thank y'all for coming through and spending your time with me, because you could have been anywhere but over here spending time with Life with Tashanna, over here where life is like a box of chocolate. It's been a long time since I said it, and you never know what you're gonna get, because we be all over the place over here. But the one thing that we do believe in, they call us the high class gardeners over here, and they say what that means. High class gardener is, we go out in the garden and we grow food, but we don't mess with no snakes, no bugs, and no worms, none of that stuff, and we don't mess with those kind of people that coexist with those things in real life. No bugs, no snakes, and no worms. It's like, well, how you a gardener, Shauna, and you don't mess with none of those kind of things? You heard what I said. I grow food. And if the bugs and the worms want to eat it all up, then they gonna eat it all up. Or other, we got the kids and the husband that'll go out there in the garden and get those things from up off of there. But we grow food. We believe in growing food at all times. And just another reminder, I got like all of my beans and stuff have blooms and everything on it, and they are so pretty to walk outside and see all of those white blooms and those beans getting ready to grow in there. The mango trees are starting to get starting to get their little thing going on, because they start to put out the little blooms that's gonna turn into mangoes around this time of year. My greens and all of that stuff are starting to pop. Y'all know I just redid the other garden, getting my strawberries and everything back growing. We planted other pineapple. Grow y'all food. When you go to the grocery store and you buy food from the grocery store, there's a whole bunch of things that you buy in the grocery store. You can regrow those things. If you eat cabbage, get the cabbage and cut the cabbage from around the core, sit the thing in some water, and let the roots come back out on the thing, and you can regrow your cabbage. Your strawberries, peel a strawberry, put it on the napkin, and let the seeds drop on there. Rake the seeds off, and you can grow them. There's videos on here. Even if it ain't none of my videos, go look up videos of what things you can get from out of the supermarket or the grocery store that you can then go home, use it, and then regrow it. Stop it. You're gonna break my necklace and it hurt. But there's so many things that you can all grow on there and everything. But there's so many things that I have growing. Sometimes when I get mad and stuff, I leave everything. Y'all seen I had a whole acre of food back there that I had growing at one point, and I got mad at my husband, and I left it all there and let it all die out, and had to come back home. And it was very sad to go back there and see it look like that when it had so much life and color and everything in it. I just let everything go away. So but people, grow your food. You don't know what all is about to happen and what is happening. Y'all just pay attention. They got everybody mind wrapped all up in this stuff that's going on with Diddy and all of that stuff. So it's distractions out here going on while there's other things that's happening. Grow your food, people. I don't care what they say. I have Miss Your Thought said you can get a pack of seeds and go out there and throw them on the ground and let the seeds do whatever they do. You ain't got to do nothing to them. Let the good Lord take care of them. Once you see them start to come up, you will do something with them. But we believe in growing some food over here in this side. So y'all make sure that you're trying to grow something. You don't have to be no expert at it, and the things that you don't know. There's plenty of people out here on this YouTube and social media, all kinds of places that's willing to help you to be able to grow stuff. Ain't nothing better than the things that you growing. We got bananas. We still got no, 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 no. We not getting that. We still got bananas and stuff. Our trees are still giving out bananas and everything. We got like I think we probably have about 8 bunches of bananas on the banana tree right now. So what you said?
I just got
You gotta get all it. You gotta get. Nobody can't even really see your face like that. You just gotta put your whole face right into the back up. Can you tell the people bye? Say we finna go night night. Say good night, people.
Good night, people.
He's so good. So y'all heard my grandbaby say he trying to push the X button. He say good night, good people. Say good night. Count. That's like 10, 9, 8. You go 6, 5, 4, 3. You ain't gonna count?
Count. Let's count them.
You gonna count? No?
Let's count them.
You already counted them? Okay, let's say in 10 seconds we're gonna go bye-bye. Say 10, 9, 8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
goodbye. Tell them bye-bye. We love y'all and good night. Y'all have an amazing night. And whatever blessings or prayers you send up for me, may God give them back to you 10 times what you asked for from me. Y'all have a good night. And thank you for joining Life with Tashanna.